Hello and welcome to episode Who Knows of the Fools on a Hill podcast. I'm Cal. I'm joined by Yanni and Liam, as I always am. How are we, boys?
Howdy, y'all. It is 93.
I know. It's just a little joke. Little.
Don't make jokes.
It's
Don't make
Josh,
jokes that
just
early.
joshing with you, Liam.
No jokes are allowed in the first minute.
Okay, is that a rule? It's like swearing.
Yeah,
on
no
YouTube.
swearing, no jokes.
No
Okay, so anyway,
There's a few other things, but I don't want to get into it.
good job. Most people probably don't find us funny, so they won't think it was a joke.
Mm.
How have we been? It's been a long time since we've been in the old metaphorical recording booth.
I
Because
think
we have separate ones. So
yes. Liam's not doing too well, is he?
No, I'm a little bit poorly,
fragile.
but
boy.
I'm gonna brave through.
What a hero!
Oh, God. What a servant to this podcast and
That's me.
country.
I'll serve you boys till
But
then.
not for King. Not for King.
Oh, absolutely not. Not for
No.
those sausage fingers.
I think we've got a magical land that we need to go to.
Oh, straight in.
But before that, there's actually massive news that we've not had a chance to mention on the podcast. And congratulations, Cal.
Oh yeah.
Potentially. There's been
He's
no other
a
news.
homo.
Oh, no.
Oh, is that falling? Is that falling through? Is this awkward?
No,
now?
no. It's not falling
Yeah,
through.
maybe.
It's just very early in the process to be announcing
no, it
such
is.
a thing. However,
Cut
I
that.
have had
You
my
can cut this if you want.
Cut that.
formalised mortgage offer today. So survey is
Words.
happening.
Fun.
Well,
That's-
will be happening when I give it the go ahead.
That's all really fun, mate.
It's
isn't it?
all.
I'm
it's
sure
all
you know.
horrendous. All horrendous. I'm so
Nice.
tired. I have such a headache here at all times.
Not
You
good.
know what
man.
they say, mate. It'll be worth it in the end.
It will, but it's very much at the beginning right now. So, if we could fast forward a little bit, that would be great. But yeah, so I'll keep you all updated. I'll tell you
Cheers.
I'll tell you when it's finished.
Nice.
You'll probably be standing in my garden with a Pims in, hopefully,
And then you'll tell us.
and then I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Right. By the way, guys,
Why am I here?
this is mine. So,
Okay.
so yeah. So hopefully a few months.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed, mate. Fingers crossed.
Thanks,
Fingers
mate.
crossed.
But the mystical place that we teased, what is it called, boys?
Insert jingle.
Fools on tour. Fools on tour. Fools on tour.
Welcome back to Insert Jingle.
I don't actually know what we're doing here.
This is Fools on Tour. Did you not hear
Yeah.
that noise that was playing
So,
just
of
then?
course, yeah.
you not hear
yeah.
it?
Sorry, I did. Yeah.
It literally
Sorry.
says it multiple times.
Fools on tour. Yeah, that's what he says. Yeah.
It's literally you saying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was my voice. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not well,
Selective hearing.
So,
Sorry.
what? Oh, dad joke. Well done. What have we done on tour this week?
We
On our
this week
tour.
makes it sound like a regular occurrence. This is the first time in ages we've done this. It was my birthday. Happy birthday to me.
Happy birthday, Yanni.
I am quarter of a century.
Wow.
And that's the end of this podcast.
Is that hit you yet, Jan? Is the reality hit you yet?
I'm still recovering from going out
Physically.
and doing other things during the days off. So I've not had chance for that to sink in yet.
Have your knees started clicking more?
No,
Oh.
not yet. mate,
It
not
will.
yet.
You've got a full year.
Yeah.
The despair will come at some point.
Yeah.
The shoulders are hurting, but I think that's just from the
Carry
way
of the
carry the
podcast.
podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, hey.
Uh,
Didn't see that one coming.
Good to be back.
But what do we do as a unit?
We went and this G Unit. We went and we played some games, some fun games, including balls, lots of balls, and other spherical
And flat balls.
flat balls.
Yeah.
And I won. Everything.
No, that's
Factual.
definitely not what happened. though, is it?
Fact,
Factual.
he factually did not. And he was
Factually
very
wrong.
angry at the fact that he didn't.
I won. Probably on average, I won the most.
No.
That's probably
No.
a fact. Yeah, so we'll
I'd
just put that
still-
on
I'd
there.
I'd still disagree with that.
I would just, I mean, that's on the podcast now. It's on the internet. I won. But I let Yanni win a few times. I said, what games did we play? Let's go. We played bowling first.
We
We
played
did
play
bowling
bowling.
first.
Is that a game or is that a
No,
sport?
it wasn't any fun at all, was it?
It actually wasn't. I stank the gaff out. Normally, I'm semi decent. I was shocking.
Yeah.
Really,
I
I'm
really
still
managed to
bad.
claw it
injured.
back.
I'm genuinely still injured.
Oh, yeah.
I was saying about I've like hurt my like hip area from like
Uh-huh.
a twist. It's still sore.
Well, we told you not to spin round with the ball, but you
I
were
do it
just...
every
Can't do it.
time. I've got to do like that.
It's
like
not the
a
hammer throw.
Tasmanian
It's not
devil
hammer throw, no.
kind of thing. That's how you get the speed.
Well, it paid dividends because you won, didn't you? You won
Mm.
bowling.
I didn't.
Just because the pressure got to me at the end. I managed
Yeah.
to claw my
It
way
was
back.
close.
You did. Me and Yanni were fucking Mufasa in at the bottom there, clinging on for dear life, and then a few. Did you get two? You got one strike, and then you got a spare, didn't you, in a row?
Yeah.
So you got a
I
nice
think
little.
there was
And
a point.
I got a double gutter.
There was a point in it between us at the very end, and then they just got to my head, and I gutted it both times.
It was pretty guttering.
In other words, yeah. In other words, and then it was pool,
It was.
and Mr. Coy in the middle there.
American pool.
Not played it in a while. Fucking-
I've not played it. I've not played it
Rodney
since
O'Sullivan.
I last played it with Liam, and Liam can back me up here. I wasn't that good, was I, Liam? I was clearly on
yeah, I
some
don't think
sort of
so.
hot streak on Saturday. Clearly, my my solitary Guinness hit the right spot, and I see just everything was coming off. It was a great day. And then
FM was coming off, yeah.
I potted the black on my first on was it on the break or was it on second shot after the break?
That was me, wasn't it?
No, I did it as well against Liam.
Oh, okay.
And but I won pool, and then
Some great moments from
S-
Callum.
some-
I have to say.
Some
Thank
moments will be. I'll be littering them in.
oh wow, that's some serious editing.
Yeah.
And then we moved on to arguably the greatest game in the world.
I gotta stay there all night.
Honest to God, I never want to do
That
anything
feels
again.
like a different night. Just that.
It
Just that
was.
alone.
It was absolutely
get that.
superb, and it is shuffleboard. If
Mm.
you've never played shuffleboard, go and play
Do it.
shuffleboard.
It turns out we're all pretty good at it, which I was
Yeah,
very surprised at.
we took a little while to get to grips with it,
Mm.
and then once we did, we smashed it. Now we spent a bit of the evening arguing about who was best at this.
We did have a-
Factually,
We
I
did have a championship, and
factually
I won that. So
I had the best shot because I got a 5-pointer where it was half off the
No,
edge.
I mean, I got a 5 point.
didn't.
You didn't because
You
we
didn't.
knocked
I
it
did.
off mid game. We have
Still got
discussed
one.
this. Well,
I got one later on as well.
no, you didn't. We
Oh,
knocked
maybe
it
you
off.
didn't see. No, maybe you didn't see.
Oh,
that.
that's
yeah,
gonna
you
be-
definitely would have pointed that out. There's no way you would have kept that to yourself.
You kept
No, I
telling
did
us
get
about the other one that didn't count numerous times. So,
Yeah.
right. So yeah, I was the only one with a 5-pointer, but then we did a little championship at the end, and in typical Callum fashion, I fluffed it. And
I won.
Yanni
I
won.
won.
But we thought, we'll win one each. It's Yanni's birthday. We can't send him home empty-handed. So I threw the game.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
what happened.
Of course.
It's
of course.
definitely what happened.
I've
But
been
Yeah.
thinking a lot about that since, by the way, and we should have just played either end.
literally the first comment I made when we got there is, should we just play either end?
I know that at some point, quite into it, I think I mentioned it, and you were like, "Yeah, I've already said this." But we still continue to just play from one end and waste so much time.
No, it was pretty fun.
No, it was a lot of fun.
But I want to go and play shuffleboard again soon.
Yeah. Why don't you get
I
one
wanna-
in your house?
Now we're talking.
That would be pretty sick. I want to do the
Sure.
real. What's the proper one with the brushes?
Curling.
Curling.
Curling. Yeah, I'm into that. I think that's the next step for me.
That's a bit too much activity. That
You got to
an
learn to
arm,
skate.
an
as well,
arm
haven't you?
swing's enough.
But then
an
you've
arm
got
swing.
something you can just be like, "Oh fuck's sake," and like throw and lash out. That would help, I think.
I didn't find myself getting that angry, mate.
Yeah, well,
I can't.
clearly you weren't taking it seriously enough, were you?
No, this is
on.
Liam's competitive streak coming out.
Me? Competitive? No. Not sense.
I am the most competitive.
No, you're not. I am.
I'm very much the least.
Yeah, and then we moved from there because £14 rounds and all that, and the games.
No one
the games were
came
finished.
to stop us playing. We overstayed there.
Well, we
for
should have
shuffleboard.
stayed
Yeah.
longer. And then what was it called? Einstein's
Einstein. Yeah.
shite.
Oh,
Is that the one that
Absolutely.
Liam took us to? And we
Yeah,
met
I was pretty sure.
Paris?
Yeah.
let me tell you, it was when I last went, like 4 years ago,
Oh,
it was pretty all right.
it was at his
Mm.
peak then, was it?
A lot of things have changed since then.
It
Bit
wasn't. It wasn't shite. It was the place we sat was nice. We were on the roof terrace,
Yeah.
surrounded by some, quite frankly, horrific smells of shisha, the oldest smelling tobacco in the world, and several fruity vapes.
Yeah.
It was pretty shit, other than the roof terrace.
It would be good if you got a booth. We should go and get a booth and like have the the taps that you
A
just
booth?
That's
took up.
pretty cool.
Are you saying
Um,
booth?
Booth, capital F at the end.
Right.
Booth. Because the house lager or hoose, if you're in the know, is pretty good.
Yeah.
Did you not ask for that and they didn't have any or
She
something?
went what?
No,
Oh, yeah.
no. You asked for
House lager.
yeah. You asked for Guinness. Yanni did, because you asked Yanni for hoose. Yanni asked the barmaid for a Guinness, and then Yanni proceeded to go, "There's no Guinness, Liam."
Oh.
And you were both like, "What?" And then you got your
And I
life
asked
with
for
you.
hoose. But then afterwards, I asked a different bar person for a hoose, and he knew exactly what I was asking for. So I felt vindicated at that point. Part of the furniture, mate.
Definitely. But yeah, if they'd have just played some I mean, they started to play some decent tunes towards the end.
They
but-
played fucking Roger Sanchez,
We
I
got Roger
remember.
Yeah, well,
Sanchez.
yeah, exactly. The
Yeah.
best
That's
song. I
the
mean,
best song in the world.
yeah, they did
Ever.
rectify the night there. But that is where I called it a night. I was driving. As I said, I had one Guinness, and then I was on the cokes of the sensible kind. What happened after that, boys?
Did we,
We
and
went-
you go to Mojo?
We went to Mojo, yeah.
my
we only
God.
had one. We only had one drink, and then it was kind of getting to a point where I was thinking, I don't really know if I can stay out any longer here, and the last train is imminent. So the choice was made, and Yanni was also in on that choice that we'd get the train home. However, Yanni bumped into someone he knew, and when we went separate ways.
Yep.
And I went and got me a pack of Quavers and a Dr Pepper for the train journey
What a
home.
fantastic choice.
It's a staple. The last bunch of times I've been out, so I do. And Yanni went on to Potty Hard,
Party hard, man.
Potty Rocking in the
Sorry for party rocking.
sky tonight.
His house. And yeah, that's Force on Tour. It's made an appearance after many a month. Many a month. This is a music podcast though, so we're gonna get right into music right this second.
Damn.
But it's gonna get hot before we do that.
So hot.
So hot for you. It's hot for the press, boys.
Sorry about that shit show of an intro, everyone. We're
Here we are
back
again.
for more, but the energy will be amplified.
Yeah.
Where are we starting on this hottest of presses?
Well, Cal, it's Malady with All Pressure, No Diamonds, and this is an EP, and of course that stands for what, Liam?
Evangelical party people.
Okay.
It gets tougher that every
That's-
time.
that's-
It gets
That's what we're going with today. There's 4 tracks, one of which I believe we may have covered previously. But
did.
if you were to tell me which one, or even ask me, I wouldn't tell you because I wouldn't know. Anyway, Black Dog is the first one. You know what? Let's save everyone the pain.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
save on the pain.
yeah.
Every one of these is all right, but forgettable.
Yeah.
The most enjoyable one for me out of a bad bunch, well, an all right bunch, is Worse for Wear, which is pretty much the EP, bit worse for wear in it.
A little bit, just so lackluster. I think the only semi standout for me is the chorus on Hyperreal, and I wouldn't necessarily say it's a chorus in terms of structure. I just think the singer is just doing a bit more. It's the same song 4 times. It's so disappointing. What has happened to the band that released London I Love You?
I think that is the thing though. They were always making songs that sounded like that. It was just that was the best version of that song.
Probably.
Yeah, like they haven't changed their sound or anything. I think
That's
it's very
at all.
melody. But yeah, they peaked very early. And I agree with everything you've said. I also agree that Worse for Wear is probably the best of the four. Pressure Build, which was the single, I find slightly irritating. Something about it, the vocals and stuff. I just not a fan. Yeah, it's a shame.
No, it's
Sorry?
melody. It's melody, mate, not shame.
Sorry.
No, it's not them either. Next up, we've got singles coming up. So strap on in. It's The National with Eucalyptus. Sorry in advance, but it's going to be very crap week. Didn't interest me at all, this track.
Oh, I I really enjoyed
That's a
it
big oof.
for the time I spent with it, but it doesn't make me necessarily want to go back to it as a standalone track. But I am very excited to listen to the album as a whole. I really like the vocals on this, which, as I've said, is something I've struggled with the National in the past. It just sounds lovely. Lovely.
It does sound nice, as have the other singles. This is the weakest song that I feel from the singles. It didn't grab me that much. I also felt like it was about a minute too long. I definitely got to a point. It was towards the very end, to be fair, of the 4+ minutes, but where I felt like, oh, this needs to finish soon. And yeah, it just didn't do anything new compared to his other singles, and I'm just concerned the whole album's just going to be a bit flat.
Flat indeed. Next up, it is Reverend and the Makers. The song "A Letter to My 21-Year-Old Self." I couldn't move past the shite vocal production on this. It was so blaringly auto-tuned in parts, and it didn't seem like that was meant to be like a stylistic thing either. It just sounded like it was a bad vocal take, and they've had to auto-tune it quite heavily. And also, his voice was annoying because of whatever they did. Like, too compressed. It was too like in your face for what it was. So I couldn't pay attention to anything else. I was too distracted by how much I hated the vocals. I didn't really feel like it was that good a song anyway.
No, I've not really enjoyed the singles they've released for this upcoming album, which is a shame because I do like Reverend of the Makers. I didn't enjoy. I didn't enjoy the vocals either.
So dramatic.
That was so dramatic.
You could have just cut that. The thing is, I'm here now.
He's here.
You don't even cut out the coughs.
No, because I edit you two. I edit us all on times 100 speed because I have a life.
That seems impractical.
That's why there's quite often problems. But what I will say is I do like the chorus in this track. I think it elevates the track quite well. However, I still don't particularly like the song.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this whatsoever. I only listened to it once, and then when it came back through again, I skipped it. There's nothing about this I enjoyed. I'm going to be brutally honest here. I felt like with the last single, which I was going to guess the name, but I can actually just load it up because I've got a pretty quick computer. Oh, maybe it wasn't the last one then. Heatwave and then A Cold North.
Oh, that was the first one, yeah.
I feel like that had something going for it.
Yeah, you two quite like that.
Yeah, it was alright, bit of a bop. I mean, not really like I don't really feel like this is Rev's kind of this is where he should be. Do you know what I mean? I don't feel like this is the music he should be making in terms of that song, but I thought he did pretty well for what it was. And then this just feels like a really like you've still got the strings there, but it's so uninspired. And like lyrically, whatever. I'd seen the whole campaign he's done separately, for this single, I suppose, about people writing letters to themselves. And the concept, great, I get it. And then when I listened to the song, I thought, fuck me, there's no wonder he's putting so much fucking effort into campaigning for the song without actually getting anyone to listen to the song, because that's not the best. That's absolutely the
He's
worst
also
part of
been
the whole
doing
record.
house kicks for what
Yeah,
I've
they've
seen.
done that throughout their career, and they've always
Okay.
looked mad. To be fair, I mean, yeah, this, they are. I do really like Reverend of the Makers. Massive band for me growing up, and seeing them live loads, and they're fantastic. But as Liam said, this just isn't really the direction, that I want, and that I really think suits the band. But power to them if this is what they're enjoying. Go ahead, but I mean,
I say cut the power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I ain't coming along for the ride.
Someone flick that little circuit breaker.
Yeah. Moving on, Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds with the song Dead to the World. It just needs to go somewhere, and it doesn't go anywhere.
In the bin.
I mean, I don't think it's necessarily that bad, Liam, but
No, it doesn't deserve that.
It's just so dull. Like
nothing
he
happens.
obviously knows how to write music and make music sound nice, but fuck me, it's boring.
Mm.
People always say about him being a dull man. He is a dull man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can't get past that. Like, there's nothing. I didn't enjoy any aspect of this song.
I like the strings, but I feel like we say that most weeks, so it's not actually becoming a standout thing in songs anymore. It's just becoming, oh, there's strings in
It's
there.
a standard.
I know that I like that. I will focus on that. But it's pleasant enough, but it is boring, yeah.
Next up, Tribes with the song Hard Pill. Now, Tribes, I believe, are a band that you enjoyed from your youth, Liam. Is that right?
Youth, yeah, capital F at the end there.
Youth.
Yeah, the album Baby, The Enemy. I'm not well. I'm very shocked that neither of you, particularly you, Callum, never really heard any of these songs. But I was a big Enemy guy back at this very time, and I think I had an Enemy cover on my wall. It was a Tribes cover, blah blah. So yeah, revisited that album recently. I told you guys to listen to it,
Yep.
Mhm.
and to
I
very upsetting results.
Yeah,
for
not
me.
good.
Yeah,
Not
wasn't
good.
Wasn't
Very
enjoyable,
not
no.
good.
Oh, it's definitely a product of its time,
Yes.
and I'm sure nostalgia plays with that. I do think there's a couple of really good tunes on there still for me, but maybe that's nostalgia.
Very false.
Yeah.
But this is the return.
1 second.
I think it's been 10 years since they released that last album, and they did break up. I remember hearing they split up, and now they're back to milk that cash cow. I think this new track, Hard Pill, it's
Do you want me to help you?
kind
It's
of-
pretty average, mate. It's
yeah,
pretty
no,
average.
I feel like it's fine, and like if it came on in like a playlist in like in the summer, you're in the garden or something, it's got a good vibe, I suppose. There is nothing extremely stand out about it. I really like his voice, so that kind of elevates it a little bit for me, I suppose. But obviously, a lot of that is just a nostalgia thing. But
Yeah.
For me, I tried to listen to this numerous times. Well, I did listen to this numerous times with the sole purpose of making notes about it, because try as I might, I couldn't do so. However, I will say that I enjoyed it, but I don't know what I enjoyed. I think it might have just been that it wasn't that album you asked me to listen to, Liam. The chorus is pretty good as well, which stand out in the track.
Yeah,
I
I thought the
think-
chorus was alright, yeah.
I think they've not done themselves too dirty with this track, and I think there could be some good stuff to come. And I think that's kind of what they've left it. They've not overly excited on the first kind of drop, but there could be something on the horizon.
Could be.
Yeah, that's not right. A really, really great song. As every band thinks. Low Hummer is next with the song Connected. Not their best, not their worst. That is my thoughts.
That was very fast. I really like this. I really like Low Hummer. This is not a surprise. One thing I do like is the alternate vocals in the chorus. We've had many a debate on the Falls on a Hill podcast as to whether or not we prefer Amy's vocals or Dan's vocals, I think.
Amy all the way.
Oh well, yeah. We've landed on we prefer Amy's
I just want
vocals.
to say I don't care about any of this.
Okay,
Good
well
job you heard that,
that's
mate.
how a podcast works, Liam.
Okay.
But I
There was a reference in there, but no one I obviously didn't do it very well.
Oh, right, okay. Okay, but I like the track.
It didn't really connect that well, Liam.
I do quite like that vocal thing they did in the chorus, Colin, as you mentioned there. I don't really enjoy what they're singing about. I think that's all a bit again. Something about lyrics lately, I just feel so uninspired on a lot of tracks, and this is one of them. And musically, I don't know, it just feels pretty like cut and paste. Not necessarily from Low Hummer. I mean, their music's never really stuck in my mind much, but just general today's music. Are they with who are they with? Nice One?
No,
Oh, no, they're
I
not.
actually couldn't tell you.
They're not actually, which is interesting. They're with Dance to the Radio, if anyone wants to know. But you know, it's that, isn't it? That's what I think.
Okay. All right. Next up, Dead Letter, The Snitching Hour. Very repetitive, this. I thought maybe too repetitive.
I like this. I wasn't expecting the sounds that happened to happen when they did. Pretty funky. Bit King Cruel reminiscent. Not as good, but in that ballpark. The vocals were interesting. Yeah, it was a little pat on the head slapper type thing.
A little patter.
A little patter.
A little patter.
Knee patter. I've relatively enjoyed all the Dead Letter stuff we've done so far. I quite like the vibe. I like how strong the bass is in the mix on all their songs. And very kind of present. And I also like the sound of I like his voice. I like the voice.
Why don't you marry him, Liam?
I don't know. He's just like, he's like my Romeo. But yeah, this tune, there's some great like horn moments. There's some great vocal moments. There's some like nice little guitar bits throughout the song. I do kind of get what you're saying, Yanni, about being repetitive, but there's enough of those little moments that kind of keep it going for me. And yeah, I'm feeling alright about Dead Letter. They've not let me down yet. I'm not saying they're holding me up very high, but they've not yet let me down.
Okay. BC and Camplight, there's 2 songs to cover here. The first one, She's Hung Cold. And then the second one is Kicking Up a Fuss. They're very different tracks, which is good for one of the tracks. The first one bored me. That is She's Hung Cold. The second track, Kicking Up a Fuss, was a lot better, in my opinion. And I'd be more interested in hearing more of this kind of sound.
Ding dong, Yanni, you have hit the jackpot. Yeah, I much preferred the second track. I did enjoy the first one, but not nearly as much. And I would like to give props to BC Camplight for the serious devotion to British daytime television as an American songwriter. Love that.
Yeah, I like that little note to cover as well. I've from these two on the first single, Last Rotation of the Earth, I think it's called.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just a big fan of the sounds. I'm a big fan of the how these songs are put together. I think it's got a great voice. And yeah, I'm generally just enjoying the vibe of BC Camplight from these new singles. And yeah, a separate point really, but also about the same, about Kicking Up a Fuss, is the one part of it, maybe the chorus, reminds me a little bit of that Spark song that we did fairly recently.
All right.
Crying into her latte.
Yeah, it's got like a weird like part to it that reminds me of that chick crying into a latte. So
Latte.
Latte. A nice latte. Sorry, side note, I got a toffee latte today from the Mackies. And I said toffee latte.
Mika Awabe. Oh, Liam. I bet they thought you were right, idiot.
Yes.
Cheek face.
No.
No?
Claro.
Oh, fuck. It's not on my list.
I only remembered just before we started recording.
You
Oh,
silly bitch.
Spoiler. I've
Uh,
listened to it, but it's just not in.
You
Okay,
fucking
well,
idiot.
Claro's the song for now, which is apparently a demo. It is up on Bandcamp. It's a single released for a charity of some kind. Cannot tell you the name. I am sorry about that.
It's for the Gwals.
What?
Hang on. I think they're called For the Gwals and Every Town for Gun Safety. Now,
Okay.
I can't quite work out the first part of that, but I'm sure you get an idea of what.
What the for the walls part? What's
For the
wall?
Gwals
How are you
and
spelling
Every
that?
Town? Gwals. How do you think it's
Are you
spelled?
trying to
Like girls in a
It's
New
spelled
York City accent.
GW. I assume that's what they're going for. It's spelled GWORLS.
Okay. Anyway, this song.
Coffee.
This is nice enough, very relaxing, chilled out. I'm going to be honest with you, boys. I've gone on a bit of a Claro dive
Oh, this guy.
deep into that pond. No euphemism there, so stop giggling, boys.
Boys.
for the boys.
For the boys.
Bloody hell, we're silly, aren't we?
Oh,
Anyway,
silly, goofy boys, just normal men.
Silly
it's just all men.
fools.
It's just innocent men.
Innocent men.
The amount of times we said that on Saturday was
Really?
not normal. Yeah, it was,
Oh, okay.
well, I said it a lot.
You said it to yourself, Carl, I think, a few times. I don't remember you saying
I
it.
was sober as well. No, me and Yanni were saying it to each other loads.
I remember saying it
Oh.
once, dear.
No,
Anyway.
it was frequent.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, I love Clara. It's what I'm getting at now.
Good stuff. This song sounds lovely. We'll probably never revisit unless it's on a future album or whatever.
It will be.
Okay, great.
You've been warned.
Lovely,
Oh, I'm telling you, it will be.
lovely voice. Karis likes Claro, and we've got one of her records. So I will put that on later, maybe.
Have you?
Which record have you got?
You haven't got the
Well,
second album, have you?
I don't know. I don't know.
Have you got Immunity, or have you got...
I don't know.
He doesn't know.
I can't remember what the second album's called. My thoughts are that... Yeah, this is from...
Sling.
Sling, that's it. Sling's a great album. This is from an upcoming album. I believe that's true.
It
This song
is.
will be, but yeah, from what I read, this is a demo of the song that will be on the upcoming album. Although it sounds pretty fleshed out.
Pre-finished, bro.
Yeah, it sounds pretty good.
I'm pretty sure it is
and yeah,
Immunity we've got. Just
Callum,
Okay.
it's far too late to answer that question. Bags is a great song.
Yeah, it is. Of course it is, Liam. There's a lot of good
God
songs on that album. God damn.
Oh,
goddamn. Next up, Cheat
but yeah,
Face.
Pleasant.
Yeah, okay.
Cheek-
Thanks,
Cheek
Liam.
Fleece,
Yeah,
Cheek
brilliant
Fleece.
name. Thanks, mate. Cheek Face, popular too.
Papa
This
who?
has been listened to at the wrong point in time for me because I just found it very annoying.
yeah, it's cheek face, isn't it? I like cheek
Yeah,
face,
definitely.
but
Definitely.
cheek
mate.
face, for the love of all that's holy,
Do something different.
please write a sad song or something. I'm so sick of this obnoxious happiness. I've got it.
Big
got it.
cup of noodles. That's pretty sad.
Not really.
Depends how you listen to
It's
it.
just all the inflections on the voice are always the same. It's always the same. You could just tell that he's singing with a smile.
Have you seen him singing live? He genuinely does sing those one.
Yeah, you can just tell.
He's quite a big mouth. It can be handy in life. Yeah, this is. Well, I think the problem. It's not a problem necessarily, but the thing with saying that they all sound the same is that that's exactly what Cheekface are, and it's.
Yeah, but come
it
on.
almost seems. I agree, but it almost feels pointless to say that. But also, then there's not much more to say.
All right then.
So, no, I didn't mean that in a disparative way. You know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, this is Cheek Face, and there's some good lyrics, and it's all as good as all the other Cheek Face stuff.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not
Uh,
shitting on your cheek face.
Listen,
I've
I'm
done.
not shitting on you, shitting on Cheek Face.
I'm not shitting on
We're
cheek
all
face.
friends
I've done
here.
That. I've done that in the past.
And
I'm
someone
not
shit on me.
about that vibe anymore.
I'll pay you.
Good. I do
Um,
like that they've got a different way of writing Cheek Face. On
Didn't
the single art.
notice that.
Something different in it.
You've
gotta look out-
The only thing that's
Oh.
different.
You've got to keep an eye out for these differences.
Moorish Idols, Chum. It's all right.
Yeah, absolutely.
I actually really quite like this one. I thought you'd probably enjoy this more. To be honest, both of you.
Don't
I
tell me what I
thought the
should like.
music was pretty cool, but I don't know. Maybe I didn't give it enough time and energy. But
I really like the kind of that stuff that was going on throughout the song. That was all pretty cool. I did notice I listened to this in the car before, and I've just put it on now. There's no low end on this song. It's so like all
There is.
high. Yeah,
But not very deep.
Yanni,
Slow mids,
Let me
slow mids. Slow mids.
exaggerate, please.
Okay.
But yeah, I thought this was pretty interesting, and I was happy to listen to it, and I'll be happy to listen to more from these guys. See what else is going on. I feel like they've came up with some pretty interesting sounds and ways of doing things on the song.
Yeah, Baxter Dury with the song Leon.
This so this again has Jay Gray attached, and I think I read earlier that she is involved for the whole album.
Okay.
It's also mentioned Madeleine Hart, who I believe is just a normal vocalist that's always with Baxter Dury, but interestingly is mentioned separately on this one. So I feel a bit lost. I don't know who the female vocalist is. I don't know if Jay Gray is singing or if she's doing production or something.
Well,
Who knows?
on the topic of female vocalists, I do enjoy the female vocals in this when they come in. It was a decent song. It did kind of grab me, to be honest with you. So I will have to revisit it because I was playing Hogwarts Legacy while listening to all these, and that took priority.
naturally, I really like this track. I don't like it as much as I like Aylesbury Boy, the last single. I am a massive fan of that.
Huge.
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 But this is a very solid start to this new album campaign, in my humble opinion. The really like the rappy bit I know Baxter's kind of like all spoken word, but there's like a little rappy bit at the start.
Yeah.
That's very good.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of this one. No. I'm a fan of this one. I'm not as big a fan as I am with Aylesbury Boy. I agree with you there, Callum. I do feel like the story. I understand what the story is going on here, what story is going on here, but I feel like some of the lyrics made no sense. Like what I'm saying. Some of the words seem to make some of the lines seem to make no sense. But I do very much appreciate that he's clearly coming into this album. And what's it called? I Thought I Was Better Than You or something like that.
I think that might be it.
And from this song and the other song, he seems to be coming in like 2-footed to like be like, no, fuck you, dad. I'm who I am, sort of thing. And like really picking apart that kind of part of his life, which seems interesting. I'm intrigued by that. I know he released a book recently.
Why don't you read it then? Yeah?
Okay.
Instead of chatting large ear on the recording, why don't you read the fucking
Chatting
book?
large ear? Who are you? Turn 25, creating new phrases. Who the fuck do you think you are?
I am not your fellow DJ. Next up, we've got LA Priest with the song Star, and I thought it was decent. I like the sort of phasey guitars that were in it at points. Yeah.
It doesn't do much for me, I'm afraid. Just didn't really sound that great, in my opinion. But I did kind of have to cram this one in towards the end. Some interesting things going on in the guitar, but overall, it just,
I really like this song, to be honest. I can see there being a limit in terms of the song structure and things like that. I feel like that's pretty standard and like vocals and lyrics, but musically I thought it was really interesting. I thought the kind of interplay between the guitars and the bass, particularly in the intro, was very interesting. I love that bass tone, that very kind of like double bassy sounded tone, and then there's one guitar that I love the tone of as well. Tone. I did listen to the other single that they've put out before this one. Didn't grab me as much as this one, but I'm interested in hearing Ma for sure.
Tell me about it, stud. Next up, we got James Ellis Ford with Squeaky Wheel. Liam, can you do your best Squeaky Wheel impression for me? Thank you
Is that
very
all right?
much. Yeah, that'll do.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm just not interested.
Yeah, I think this will be the last one I put on Notion of
Please.
James Ford.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I would like to extend my apologies, James Ford. However, I think your expertise are best shared with the world from the other side of the mixing desk. I got so
Wow.
bored, I don't think I made it through 30 seconds.
Yeah, I thought there were some cool production stuff in this one. There's like that kind of sounded really cool. But the song itself, fuck me, boring. So boring.
Did anyone
fucking
finish it?
boring.
Did anything happen?
I don't
can't-
know.
I tried to block this out the minute it finished, if I'm
Don't
honest.
know.
I can't remember.
Fair.
I think it was the same the whole way through.
Yeah, let's say it was. Opus Kink returning with 118. Boys, please take it away because I have not made notes. I'll have to remind myself what I thought.
Well, Opus Kink. We all know I love Opus Kink. So the bias is probably strong. However, I just love Opus Kink, you know. Slapper territory again for me. Just everything about it I love, and I want an album right now. Provided,
Well,
obviously, it's good quality.
The EP's coming relatively soon, I assume.
Have we ordered that? I was meant to ask.
Yeah, I think
We
we
did,
have.
yeah. We did.
What a great
We did,
decision, past
yeah.
Callum. Well done.
We ordered it, and then very quickly after they sold signed ones. They
Ah,
love to do
I
that.
do remember
They
that.
love to do that nice one. Dicks.
Fucking.
Yeah, and this is another great Opus King song. To be honest, when it started, I thought, oh, it's just Opus King again, but it's just Opus King again, so it gets pretty good. It's not the same kind of thing as what we say with Cheek Face, because obviously there's a lot going on in an Opus King song, and
Yeah.
like the horns and stuff are great. It's very true to their style. It's very kind of epic, and all the rest of it.
Definitely epic.
Um,
That second half where it sort of just gets heavy and loud and he starts screaming his head off.
Yeah,
Great. I can imagine that is fucking insane live.
yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy. And finally, we've got Water from Your Eyes. Oh, there's somebody crying. And it's the song True Life. I like this one compared to the first track we covered by them, which I think you two did like.
Barley.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know if the weird like screechy noise is too loud. It goes between your ears.
It's upsetting, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah,
It's comfortably upsetting. It makes me
Oh.
feel it levels me out. I feel like listening to the song, and it
okay.
was the same with the other song where it kind of like it's like white noise almost.
Just noise.
Just noise, white noise, but I do think like whatever they're doing, it's so like not discernible whatsoever what's going on, but there's such a clear like rhythm and stuff to this song that it's I find it fascinating. To be honest, I'd love to understand what's happening. What are these sounds? I don't know. I want to see them kind of pull it apart and show us. But yeah, like the vocals are great as well. Kind of like a dance tune that's fucked up. So fucked up. Big fan.
You can't really follow that. I didn't like it as much as Barley, but it's a great tune nonetheless.
Thank you, Cal. What a way to end it. We're not doing any album spotlights this week, but just don't worry. You might be getting something special next week. Oh, Liam's
Ooh.
dropped his cock ring.
Drop me crystal.
Billy.
I've got a crystal. Do you know I'm related to Billy Fury?
Yeah.
You guys know that?
Yeah.
You might have mentioned it.
The Billy Fury. He's got a
The-
statue in Liverpool. I am so related to him.
So related.
Yeah, man.
So related to you. Thank you for listening so much. We apologise if it was not been the best.
I don't.
I'm indifferent.
Don't apologise for things, John. You got to stand by him. You've got to smash him up the back end, and you've got to propel them into
I think
space.
you should apologise for that comment.
No regrets.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Ta-da.